Starting another adventure. This time I'm at the Wynoochee Lake in the Olympic National Forest. And yes, there's both a national park and a national forest here in Washington. I don't think a lot of people realize that. I'm about an hour north of Aberdeen, Washington. And this portion of the Olympic National Forest I've never been to, so wasn't quite sure what I was getting into. So here we go. So this lake is more of a reservoir, and it's formed by this dam, which is owned by Tacoma Power. Now I am on the east side of the dam, and there is a trail that runs all the way around it, the shoreline trail. It's 12 or 16 miles depending on which route you take. So my plan was to hike on it for a little bit and see what it was like. So I didn't end up hiking on the trail all that long. The trail never really got close to the shoreline. We're actually looking towards the lake right here, so you can see there's quite a bit of distance. Well, I'm almost back to the trailhead. Again, it's on the east side of the dam. There's a bridge in front of the dam that I'm going to walk across, and then there's an observation spot of the dam on the other side. Well, this is looking downstream on the river, and you can see we are really high up here. Well, this is the observation spot of the dam. There's a little bit of a picnic area as well. So I looked around for a little bit before heading out. As I was walking away from the observation spot, I noticed this little underpass. I thought maybe I'd take it, I'd get a better look at the power station, which is a little bit downstream from the dam. Just past the bridge, there was a little bit of a hiking trail, but it started to get so overgrown that I couldn't really tell where the trail was supposed to go. But that trail did parallel the service road that you're seeing right here. So I walked down the service road for a little bit to see if I could get a look at the power station, but there was no spot to observe it, so turned around and headed out to the next spot on Wynoochee Lake. So the next spot we're stopping at is the day use area, and this is also managed by Tacoma Power. Alright, I'm past the Tacoma Power day use area and I'm back on the Lakeshore Trail. Those yurts you see off to the left are part of a Forest Service campground that's right next to the day use area. The Lakeshore Trail crosses this road which comes in from the campground, and down at the bottom of this hill there's a boat ramp. This wrapped up the day use area and campground areas. From here I headed north along the lake towards the other end. I've driven up Forest Road 22944 for a while, and the Lakeshore Trail connects in with this service road. So I'm going to hike back in a little bit to see if I can get a look at the lake. Like much of the Lakeshore Trail that I've been on so far, it's set pretty far back from the lake, so you can't see it very well. There was a couple good spots for viewing mountains in this area. Okay, I've driven way past the end of the lake, and this is the Wynoochee Falls Trail. Now to get up here, I drove up the west side of the lake, and then once I was finished checking out the falls, I started heading back down on the west side. After a relatively short hike, I made it to the Wynoochee Falls. I found a way up to the top of the falls, so it was a little dangerous. Well, this is the river above the falls. I looked around for a little bit and then headed back to the trailhead. Okay, I've come a couple miles down from the trailhead, and I think this is Service Road 2270, although different maps showed it as different numbers. I'm actually on the west side of Wynoochee River. There's a bridge here, and I wanted to see if there was a way to connect into the service road that comes up the west side of the lake, but turns out there isn't. There is a few decent dispersed camping sites along this road, though. The service road that I was just on, there's an access spot to the Lakeshore Trail, so I'm going to walk down it for a bit. I've gone about 5 minutes down the trail, and because this trail doesn't get a lot of use, I'm guessing, it doesn't get maintained very well, and so it's completely overgrown right here. Okay, I'm a little ways from Wynoochee Lake now. And there's lots of stuff in this area that I want to check out, but I just ended up doing one more thing, and this is the Spoons Falls Trail. This is Spoons Falls, and this is going to wrap it up for the Wynoochee Lake area of the Olympic National Forest.